there. My name is Frank Leone. I am a field development manager with LifeVantage, and I love doing these opportunity calls to give the variation to how you could present LifeVantage to someone who's brand new, or if you are brand new to LifeVantage, how you can have the variation to present to someone what a great opportunity this business is for you. So we have a fantastic guest with us today, Dr. Neil Goodman. Gentleman's been with us since 2017. I love the fact that he has such a great energy, and his Pro 6 level brings in over 50,000 in sales volume on a month-to-month basis. And I love his approach. This man's all about science. He has a great reputation, a 14-year veteran of the Army, but also has 37 years of pediatric and adolescent medicine. So being able to speak to it from that doctor's point of view, this guy's has so much experience. I can go through his bio for the next 10 minutes if I needed to. But my friend here has so much information that I'd rather just have it here directly from the source. And again, give you that variety so you can kind of look at different ways to approach this. So Dr. Goodman, I'm going to pass it along to you, my friend. Thank you again for being here.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you, Frank. I'm very excited for this opportunity to speak to everybody tonight. I'm speaking to you from coastal Georgia. And as you mentioned, I'm a board certified pediatrician and an adolescent medicine subspecialist who's been practicing clinical medicine for over 37 years. I want to switch to my slide share real quick if I can, just to see if we can get this going. All right. My wife is a OB/GYN surgeon, and she is a specialist in robotic procedures and laparoscopy. And you might ask, like, why would a doctor like him be involved in a side business of promoting health and wellness products produced by a network marketing company? And I'm here to tell you that the reason is because they work, period. I don't care what anybody says about it, they work. I would never put my name and reputation behind anything that I didn't use and validate firsthand myself. I've used them in my own life, I've used them in my family, and now I've even extended their use to my patients and their families. I'm so impressed by these products' effects that they've become part of my methodology to improve the lives of my clients. And just so you know, of the 63,000 distributors, there are over 1,400 medical professionals that are in the LifeVantage family using these products. They've discovered and are actively promoting these products for those that they care for and love. The great news is that you don't have to be a medical professional in order to share your knowledge with folks. I just wanted to give you the confidence that the science behind the LifeVantage products was the real deal, and that medical professionals agree that a LifeVantage life is a worthy venture. So I refer myself now as a biohacker. By biohacker, I mean that I'm very interested in using technology, science, and nutrition to make my body the best that it can be. I got interested in biohacking my own health about 5-6 years ago. I was starting to have physical decline in many areas of my life, perhaps because I'd been exposed to lots of stress through my occupation and ignoring my own eating and exercise, and then lots of toxins because of my upbringing. Growing up, I had lived for 16 years in a household where I couldn't escape the 3-pack per day smoking habit of my father. Ultimately, he died of a terminal process, and 10 years later, my mother met the same fate, but she died of another related condition, even though she never smoked a day in her life. So when I got to their age of 55, I was thinking, when was I going to get that same condition? After all, I have the same genetic makeup as my parents. I was working so hard taking care of all of my patients, I was neglecting my own health. Well, that's the typical story that affects doctors, neglecting our own health. I didn't want to become the next statistic, and so I had to do something to restore myself. I started eating better and I was trying to exercise, but I was so tired. I was so sore after my workouts that I really didn't want to do the next one. I began to go on vacations with my wife, who was in a similar state as me. We both needed some relief, and so we would go away to get a break and eat healthier, but after the week vacation, we were right back in the same situation. I mean, it was all temporary and so frustrating. So in 2016, a friend introduced me to some products from the wellness company called LifeVantage that was making some groundbreaking discoveries in the wellness field. They had created an incredible product called Protandim NRF2 that was based on 30 years of Elliott Cresson Medal Award level research. This new technology had been around since the mid-90s, but I never knew about it until this friend suggested that I investigate it for myself. I started using it daily and I started to notice subtle changes initially, but after 6 months, it was clear that it was causing profound changes. I am so excited to tell you that now I'm a completely changed person. I've trimmed down a little, but more than that, I'm so much healthier. I have more stamina and energy. I sleep better. I actually want to exercise now because I don't get tired doing it. And best of all, the very process that was aging me, called oxidative stress, was reduced by 40% in just a month. And this has continued to get even better with more time, which means that I've improved my risk factors and I've reversed the trends that would have caused me to degrade at an early age, like my parents. I'm so psyched about what I was able to do that it would be a crime for me not to share it. So let's talk about you. Here you are. You've come to this opportunity presentation through some sort of an invite. You're invited by one of my wellness business partners who cared enough about you and your situation that they wanted you to see this presentation with the hopes that it could change your life too. I later turned my health improvement journey into a business opportunity to tell the world about these amazing products and the company that created them. There is absolutely no reason that anyone with an interest in becoming healthier couldn't do exactly the same thing. And as I said before, you don't have to be a doctor, have any medical knowledge, or even have a science background in order to tell this story. In fact, the majority of people who become representatives or distributors with the company are exactly that: normal, ordinary people. Regular workers, housewives, dads, moms, teachers, aides, essentially anyone. It's simply a story of desire to improve yourself physically, emotionally, and financially. So let me share you my vision with you and see if you don't want to obtain the same things for yourself, okay? If you're tired of feeling tired, or you're always getting run down, if you're not moving well, are sore, lack strength, or maybe on the financial side of things, you're just tired of someone else at the office always calling the shots, where you're not in charge of your own life. Maybe you're never able to live life on your own terms. You're always clocking in and clocking out, and yet you're still barely able to afford that vacation. Or maybe you don't have enough supplemental money to pay the bills, feed the kids, or do something nice for yourself like you really deserve. Perhaps you feel like you're not appreciated at work, or worse, maybe there is no work because the job dried up and now you're isolated at home with nothing to do. Maybe all the stimulation you're getting right now is watching Netflix. Is this your life? Can you relate? Then listen carefully, because all that's going to change tonight. My situation was slightly different. It was that if I didn't show up to work, then I wasn't going to get paid. I was leveraging my time for money, but the problem was that I was running out of time. There wasn't enough time in the day to do all the things that I needed to do. Work was always there, and don't get me wrong, I love what I do, taking care of kids and their families, but I was always on call at the hospital. There was no downtime. Other doctors were leaving the area and their workload became my new workload more and more. The bar kept getting raised, but I couldn't jump any higher. Life at home was just recovery for me. I just wanted to sleep. There was no enjoyment anymore, no time to spend with my family. I felt like I was a rat on a hamster wheel with no daylight at the end, and I was burnt out. Then in the last 2 years, corporate priorities changed, and let me just say that no job is secure, no matter what you do. I am so thankful that this person came to me with the answer to a prayer that I didn't even know that I had made. I immediately saw the potential in this opportunity, and it was an absolute no-brainer. This thing that I'm going to share with you tonight is called Protandim. So this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to first discuss flipping the switches on our health, and then I'm going to show you how to do the same thing with your finances. Let's look at how to flip the switches on your health. If you remember nothing else from this talk, remember this. I'm not talking about another supplement. I have so many people say that word. I don't even like it, but that's what these products are labeled as, because there are two major categories that the FDA is involved in: pharmaceuticals and supplements. But I want you to think of these products as nutraceuticals. They're nutritional with a purpose. They're sort of a hybrid. Think of this Protandim as an activator, something that switches your body on. It flips on the switch. It turns your body on to do what it was supposed to do naturally. And let me explain why. You have to know that we're being hijacked all day long, 24/7. We're exposed to toxins everywhere. They're in our food, they're in our water. I mean, let's face it, even our food and water supply is nowhere near what it used to be. There's so many processed foods and everything else. Let's talk about stress. I mean, you want to know about stress? I don't know about you, but 2020 and 2021, have we had a little bit of stress? Yes or yes? We've had a ton of stress this past year. I'm sure there's lots of people who are now smoking more, they're drinking more, they're overworked, they may not be happy, they may not have any work, they may be stressed about the fact that they have limited income coming in right now. I get it. I get it. This problem is everywhere. So you need to know that there are other insults like toxins, like environmental pollution, pollutants that are getting us all day long, and other things like blue light, EMF, and UV rays. So here's the thing. There were about 85,000 chemicals that have been introduced over the last 100 years, and that's huge. That's 850 chemicals a year for the last 100 years. That's one of the main reasons why our bodies that used to be able to overcome a chemical assault and produce just the right amount of protective enzymes and antioxidants to protect us just can't anymore. Our bodies have become overpowered by these threats. So what these things have done is to basically turn the lights off on our protective systems. You can do your best. You can take oral antioxidants. I mean, I still eat my fruits and vegetables. I eat healthily. I'm exercising regularly now. I drink filtered water. So I should be protected, right? I'm going to tell you now, that's not enough. No way. It's just not. I don't know what you're doing, but your body needs to be activated in order to turn the lights back on these systems. We've already collected cumulative damage. These are some of the things that you may be feeling right now. You may have problems with your immune system. Maybe you're getting sick all the time. Maybe you have like this. Why did I go into the room? Where are my keys? What was I going to say? I don't know if this is you or not, but when I was getting into my late 40s and early 50s, some of these things were showing up all the time. I mean, it was only 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My God, I didn't know how I was going to make it through the rest of the afternoon. Have you had that happen? That's stress, okay? Then when you start adding in the responsibilities like families and the house and the car and your job and all those things, now let's just add the fact that there's a whole bunch of people who are relying on you. I think you've just added a little bit more stress, right? Are you feeling me with this? What about your mood, your attitude, the fatigue, okay? Just look at the lady in the picture. She's like worn out. So what's happening here is that there's a cascade of sequential problems and breakdowns that are happening internally. In the body, there are scientific definitions for why those things are happening. It's not just emotional stress, it's something called oxidative stress. This is a fancy term that sums up how your body is essentially chemically rusting from the inside out. There's also mitochondrial decline, where you don't have the energy that used to be there because the system is also degrading. And then there's the third problem, low sirtuin activity, which is basically like all the gears are getting all gunked up. There's a ton of issues going on, and that's where turning the lights off and dimming our switches is about. So realize that since scientists have already discovered that we have genes in our body that can keep us healthy and can stimulate these failing body systems, the next logical step was to figure out if we could leverage those genes. In essence, the analogy is that if you could flip the switch, would you? So that's meant to be a rhetorical question, since everybody on the face of the earth would do that. If they could do that, they would want to turn those genetic pathways right back on. Why wouldn't you do that? If you could leverage those genes to help take care of those 3 problems? Okay, so I'm going to address the 3 of them for you right now in order. Again, the first one is oxidative stress. What the heck is that word? It's another word for cellular aging. It's when those cells start to break down. See, when that apple got a bite taken out of it, the skin, the protective barrier was removed. That was the damaging event. And it starts to oxidize or yellow, or basically age. It does this right in front of you. That's what's happening to the cells in your body all day long. It's just that it's such a slow, insidious process that you don't even know that's going on. It's crazy. So there are over 250,000 clinical studies telling us how bad oxidative stress is for your body. So here's the situation. We've identified that the genetic pathway that reduces oxidative stress is called NRF2. And if you activate it with specific signals from food by taking 5 specific plant ingredients combined together in a precise ratio, they actually amplify each other by 1,800%. I'm talking about an incredible discovery. Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. You can literally flip that switch back on again. What? Are you kidding me? Do you know what kind of a big deal that is? Well, here's the thing. By flipping that switch, you can lower a person's oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days and as much as 70% by 4 months. That's not just some made up number. That's a peer-reviewed clinical study looking at blood tests. You can't fake that. It raises glutathione by 300% and 2 other super antioxidants by 30 to 54%. The scientists reported it in the NIH's scientific publications. So go look and see what the experts had to say about it. What they determined is that by lowering oxidative stress, you're reducing cellular aging. Think of reversal in cellular aging by 40%. Now look at that apple again. To give you a different visual, think about it like a huge fire in a house. You could sit there and try to put it out with a small Dixie cup of water, but wouldn't you rather put it out with a large fire hose or a sprinkler system that you could activate? Well, when it needs to be turned on, that's what Protandim NRF2 does for your body. In fact, Washington State University in 2015 said it's the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future, and it may be the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of health. The National Institutes on Aging also did studies. You really need to go see these studies for yourself to see exactly how it works. I'm talking about the activation of internal antioxidant production, and it's all controlled by NRF2. It's just that your natural internal antioxidant production can't put out the fire anymore because this pathway is tired and actually damaged. Typically, your capability gets lower as you age. As we get older in life, this NRF2 genetic signaling pathway diminishes or slows down. Now, this graph shows what it's like without taking Protandim NRF2. But activating your body by flipping that NRF2 switch tells your cells to produce more of those antioxidants and protective anti-inflammatory enzymes. You'll see that the antioxidant production is boosted right back up. And like I told you, I mean, don't take my word on it. Go to the NIH website. The website is simple to use. It's pubmed.gov. You'll see there are between 27 and 31 peer-reviewed studies done there from the likes of Harvard, Free Radical Biology, Colorado State, Virginia Commonwealth University. There was a study in there that was published in the Journal of Circulation. Every cardiologist in the US reads the Journal of Circulation. The fact that Protandim has a clinical study in that same prestigious journal, that blew me away. Do you see all the different organizations and schools that have been studying it? Go to pubmed.gov and go do the research yourself. Okay, so now that we've identified that first problem and came up with a solution, the next step was to look at how do we turn back on problem number 2, those mitochondria. Remember that was the second problem, mitochondrial dysfunction? It was that they also diminish over time. And just to remind you that the third problem was that of sirtuin activity also diminishes. So don't worry about these big fancy words right now, just follow the big concepts. So mitochondrial decline, basically mitochondria are our energy factories. It's like this battery losing its charge. Your cell phone starts to lose its charge. You know how it goes from full and then it gets down to like half a bar left. That's what's going on in your body. If you haven't heard about mitochondrial dysfunction and all the issues going on with the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell, you need to know that they are the batteries and it's where we get our energy, our cellular energy for everything. Breathing, talking, thinking, moving. Everything relies on the energy that's produced by our cells. Unfortunately, like it says, over time, that mitochondrial production goes down. So we've also identified that the NRF1 genetic pathway is the one that's responsible for mitochondria. We learned this from mapping the human genome. Once again, researchers, at LifeVantage worked on creating a blend of 5 plant ingredients or 5 natural ingredients in a Protandim NRF1 synergizer. And now we're able to flip that NRF1 switch to turn on our mitochondrial production by 70%. I'm just going to say that that's amazing. So not only are you producing more mitochondria, but they're larger and healthier mitochondria that can resist that oxidative stress destruction as well. So what does that mean in English? More energy, more energy. If you can increase the cell's production ability, you're going to increase the energy level of your body. You're not going to feel like you're sluggish or dragging or fatigued all the time, like the lady was in that picture where she's holding her head and she's going, oh my gosh, it's only 3 o'clock and I'm ready to pass out in the middle of the afternoon. Guys, this is big. I promise you, it has never been done before. These 2 products are literally pioneering the field of health and wellness. Okay, so now the third problem, it's sirtuin decline. Sirtuin is another big fancy name, but basically what sirtuins are proteins that are responsible for cleanup. They're like the garbage men. They help out the cell. They keep things moving. They lubricate the cells, improving efficiency and getting rid of all of the waste products. And they help to remove dying cells. But again, over time, the sirtuin activity not only decreases, but the production of them also decreases. And so now you have the waste or the gunk building up in the gears where they're all slowed down. The NAD genetic pathway is what's responsible for building up sirtuins. In this case, there are 4 ingredients, 4 ingenious ingredients blended together in the Protandim NAD synergizer that are flipping that switch on again. You notice the common theme? It's all about flipping the switch. You activate the pathway and the body produces more sirtuins by 100% in 24 hours. In English, what that means, everyone, is that before Protandim, you had basically 2 ways to increase sirtuins. You could starve yourself. First, you could starve yourself with caloric restriction, like a 600 calorie per day diet. No, that's not going to happen for me. If you did a 600 calorie day diet, you would increase the NAD activity by 94% in 3 days. Or you could also intermittent fast, which is more doable. But with activation, you can actually double your sirtuin function within 1 day by merely taking the Protandim NAD synergizer, and you would make both more NAD and sirtuins in 1/3 of the time. Increase that sirtuin activity, and all of a sudden the cells get degunked and they start moving again, just like they were supposed to. Okay, so now we've talked about turning back on the 3 different genetic signaling pathways. What does that do for us? Well, all the things that our cellular systems are supposed to do, start turning on again at more youthful levels. We've reduced oxidative stress to decrease cell damage and aging. We've boosted mitochondrial production to boost our cellular energy. And finally, we've lowered this gunk buildup of the cells by increasing sirtuin activity. So now here's the big question. What do you think would happen if you could flip all 3 of these switches on at the same time? Can you tell I'm excited? I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I'm a scientist. When you flip all 3, here's a summary of what happens. Less oxidative stress, less of that body basically eating itself up, cellular rusting, right? That's cellular aging. Improvement in the cellular energy, and then improvement in the processes or the degunkification. I know, I made up that word. It's making that cell actually do what it's supposed to do when you put all 3 together. It also does something really interesting. When I saw this study in 2019, y'all, you may not be a science person, and maybe some of this stuff I've talked about is way over your head, but there are some scientists out there that when they saw this, like when I saw it, it blew my mind, because not only is each product the best in its class, there's nothing else that activates NRF2 pathways or NRF1 pathways like Protandim. Remember, this is a first of its kind, a paradigm shift in the approach to health. There's nothing else that activates the NAD sirtuin pathway like Protandim NAD synergizer. But when you put the 3 of them together, look at these results. The results are exponentially better. I mean, look at that. Anywhere from 71% on the low end and right up to almost 1,863% more activation with all 3 of them working together. I'm talking about witnessing a scientific breakthrough. No company, no product has ever been able to do this before. And Protandim got 7 US patents and 6 international patents for it. And my understanding is that there are 3 more patents on their way. The bottom line is that the 3 of them are better together than any one of them alone. And this is not a sum of their effects, it's actually a multiplication effect. They each make each other amplify so much better. Are you getting this? Do you realize the potential to your health here? These are life-changing products in a world where people need this more than ever. So, are you ready to flip the switch? What are some of the benefits? I was talking about those as we were going along. Positive mood and motivation. Who doesn't want to be more motivated, especially in the world we're living in? There are so many things that are coming at us right now. We want to live not just longer, but healthier longevity, correct? We want to improve our health spans, better focus, clarity and concentration, more mental energy. It also helps to mediate our immune system and supports a healthier vascular system. Those are things that everybody is looking for, particularly in this upside down world we're living in right now. So if you're ready to flip the switch, let's do it. It's as simple as the Protandim Tri-Synergizer, NRF2, NRF1, and NAD. You choose one or all 3. They even offer their customers free shipping. I mean, this company listens. I mean, like, who doesn't offer free shipping nowadays, right? So they said not only are they going to offer free shipping, but also a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, send it back. Absolutely no risk here. They know that this could change your life. If it doesn't, LifeVantage will give you your money back. It comes out to less than $5 a day. That's less than a cup of store-bought fancy schmancy coffee every day. I mean, really, it's less than $5 a day. So folks, I mean, it's your health. Do it. Activate your body. Get it turned back on again. I didn't even go into all the other products that LifeVantage has. There are just too many. Look at that. Axio, clean brain food drink. Think like focus, clarity, mental concentration. What about getting your gut in check with the probiotic called ProBio, where it's more than 15 times more effective than the typical probiotic, or the prebiotics where you're actually feeding the healthy bacteria and reducing cravings for food at the same time? What about the Omega Plus for your heart and your brain? What about losing weight, and not just losing it, but maintaining a healthy weight? Look at the skin too, right? Like, I'm like 85. I look like I'm 20, right? No, seriously, I'm kidding. I'm actually older than 60, and I use the skincare system every day. I also use the Pet Tandem NRF2 on all my 4-legged pets. They took the same technology, that activation or flipping the switches, and put it into all of these different products. I encourage you to get back with whoever shared this webinar link with you and challenge them to share and show you more about each and every one of these. You'll be blown away when you take a look at them. So here's the thing. All these stories are fantastic, right? I can tell you about how I was sleeping better within a couple of weeks, how I was waking up before my alarm clock was going off within the first 4 weeks of starting our product, and how within 6 weeks I was recovering like a 20-year-old in my workouts. I was succeeding in my weight goals, thinking more clearly, acting less anxious, and emotionally, I was in a much better place. My wife, my family, even my pets were improving on these. I could tell you all those stories, but they're only good if I share them with you. The same thing goes with our other products. These stories are only good, or they're better, I should say, if and when you share them with others. So I want to share with you for a moment the LifeVantage story. LifeVantage is about 12 years old. We're based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. I say we because I've identified so completely with what they do for people that I feel like they've become a part of me. They're publicly traded on the NASDAQ, publicly traded. That means everything they do is transparent. You should see their financials because the financials were great, yet they're phenomenal right now. I mean, we're debt-free as a company. What other company is? Our company posted record sales in 2020. So this is what I'm going to tell you. Who'd like to earn a little extra income while getting themselves healthy at the same time? Now let's talk about governance. I mean, look at who's on our board of directors, right? Aaron Brockovich, and former leaders from Apple, Coca-Cola, Google, Uber, Airbnb, and Johnson & Johnson. They are from some of the most massive companies in the world. Look at this data. Never before in history are there people who are more concerned with their health and right now. I mean, right now we're in a global health crisis and people are concerned. The wellness industry has skyrocketed by over 60%. Look at these stats. They were up through 2018. These don't even include 2019 or 20, guys. Wellness is on the rise. It's what everyone is talking about. The markets are massive. That's why when you're thinking about it and you're hearing about the science, you're like, okay, now I know. Who else knows about this? Do you realize that you could be the one sharing this with others that haven't even heard about it yet? When I heard that part, when I saw how big these markets were, who wouldn't want to be a part of this? We were a $3 million company and now we're a $200+ million company. Who doesn't want to grab $1 billion or $2 away from some of those other different markets? And I don't doubt you, but I'm totally in. I want to be in this industry, not only for my own personal health, but for my financial outlook too. Look at this, cosmetics, all the way up through 2017. Cosmetics were the #1 market in the network marketing profession. But look what happened the next year. They flip-flopped. People aren't as concerned about their looks as they once were. They want to be healthier from the inside out, all the way around, not just better looking skin, but healthier, younger looking skin. And the same with their hair and their bodies. I said healthier. So this business model is literally the perfect business model when you think about it. You can work from home or anywhere where you can get cell service or Wi-Fi. You can have a virtual office. I didn't tell you all before, but I've been an employee. I've been an actual soldier following orders. I've been an employer, a private business owner, and I've been a network marketer in direct sales, and I consider myself an entrepreneur. And let me tell you, being a network marketer and entrepreneur is the best out of all of them. Why? Because you can work from wherever you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want. You call the shots. You work as hard as you want or as little as you want. Your progress only depends on your motivation. With the virtual office, the cell phone, the iPad, or the laptop is your office. You need no inventory. You need no storage. You don't need a warehouse. You have no rent and no employees. You don't have to keep samples or products everywhere. You don't need legal or advertising. You don't need to ship anything. This is all done by the company for you. You just buy what you want to use for your own personal consumption. There's a one-time low-cost option of entry, and your advertisement is social sharing. You can use Facebook, Google, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can share this socially by phone, Zoom, Skype, and when we can, share it out in public when we're allowed to get out and start mingling again. The company gives you your own dedicated website with your name where you have your own personal online store. You can get paid bonuses and commissions, not to mention that there are at least 8 ways that you can earn an income. That's more than all right. That's something you're going to want to ask the person who shared this with you more about. And let's talk about travel. I mean, this company has taken me and my team all over the world. When you earn incentives, not only are you traveling to go build your business like our business, but you can also earn incentive trips to fantastic locations. I've earned free incentive trips to Ireland. I've earned them to Puerto Vallarta, Cancun, Mexico, Park City, Utah, and others. It's unreal. It gave me something to look forward to, and I could spend it with the positive people that I like. So let's talk a little bit about what the potential is, right? All of this is great, but you want to know what's in it for me. So what's in it for you is simple. These are not hypothetical earnings. These are actual earnings that distributors have earned, and these are the ones through 2020. This is an earnings disclosure, so there are actual earnings. The average is $704 a year, but it depends on your desire and your coachability. I want you to first look at the foundational rank of Pro 3. We're not even talking about the top rank of the company. When you get to Pro 3 rank of the company, that means that your business is doing the average commission at that rank, which is $581 a month. I don't know about you, but when I saw that, once we achieved that rate, I started thinking about like, wow, okay, that could pay like a cell phone bill. That could pay a car payment. Start thinking of it in terms of that. This is the average monthly income coming in month after month. Of course, if you're like me, you start looking at what's the maximum. Look at that 5th column. Now, look at the next line that I highlighted. Look at Premier Pro 5, which is sort of the middle rank of the company. Now you're halfway through the ranks of the company at this point, and the company is looking at you as more of a leader. $2,935 a month, roughly $3,000, times 12 is about $36,000 a year. Now, the median income in the United States is somewhere around 40,000. That's like literally a regular job. There are distributors who this is their regular job now. That's huge when you think about it. And most premier Pro 5s that I know have built their businesses on a part-time basis. Not no time. I'm not saying it's zero time. It's network marketing or direct marketing, but they've done it on a part-time basis. And you can build this business during the spare hours of your workday, in the evening, a few hours a week. I made it all the way to Premier Pro 6 is what it's called, but I really want to get to the Elite Pro 7 or Pro 8 ranks before I can professionally retire. Elite Pro 7 rank means the addition of global revenue sharing. It means $12,407 a month. Can you imagine what else you could do that would generate that kind of income? And it's leveraged, meaning it's you and a team of people. It doesn't rely 100% on your efforts. It's you and the efforts of many other people that have become part of your team that are contributing to this income stream. And along with the fact that you're helping so many other people beneath you to achieve their ranks and their own success stories in the process. Look at how easy it is to get started. It's so simple. You pick which of the 2 starter packs you want to get started with. My recommendation, of course, is the one that's highlighted all the way on the right. That's called the Elite Pack. There is a starter pack that's less, but get in where you fit in. Why would I go for the bigger pack? Well, because you get to try most of the products in the company and you get to share those products. You'll have some leftovers that you can share with others, and you also get all access tickets to the next regional event. Our events occur almost monthly with one big event a year in October. And if you've ever thought about getting started in your own business with low overhead and a one-time start fee under $1,000, now's the time to do it. Do it today. Get enrolled. Reach back out to the person that shared this with you to get started, wherever you fit in. Whichever one of these packs fits you and your budget and your mindset and how big of a business you want to grow. Do it, and let's get you a ticket to that event so that you're in, so that you can be trained, because that's the question that people ask next. That this all sounds great, but I don't know if I can do it. Of course you can. I've watched people walk across the stage before, and I've gone to the conventions. If they can do it, you can do it. Our members are regular people from all walks of life. I'm an exception being a doctor. How many doctors do you know decided that they wanted to be network marketers? Don't you think that's unusual? I don't know if that sounds bad, but I mean that with all love and respect. I mean, you see, it doesn't matter. The compensation plan is blind. Guys, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, if you're married or divorced, gay or straight, a farmer, a businessman, or a doctor. It doesn't matter what your race is, your culture, your ethnicity. None of that matters. The compensation plan is blind. It's got blinders on. It pays you for effort and vision. It pays for the person that goes and gets the support and the training, and those who follow the very simple system. It rewards the ones that regularly attend some of the meetings. I'm not going to say that you have to spend all week. I told you, I did this part-time. I was putting in maybe 5-8 hours a week at most. Many weeks it was less than that, especially in the beginning. Now I put in more time, but that's much later. But in the beginning, it was strictly a part-time effort. There are all kinds of trainings, all kinds of incentives, perks, a private community, mentorship. You have all the support that you need. So here's what it comes down to. Right now, friends, look at just some of these things that have happened to LifeVantage in the last couple of years. LifeVantage was listed as one of the best businesses to be in. They just launched in Ireland. They named Aaron Brockovich to the board. Seriously, are you kidding me? I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. They received multiple Gold Stevie Award winners for our breakthrough products. They were added to the Russell 3000 as far as on the financial side. And now they're open for business in New Zealand, Asia, and now the Philippines. And they posted record profits. They rang the closing bell at NASDAQ. Yeah, we were right there. And that's our corporate team right there all day long in Madison Square. They're the Jersey front sponsor of the Real Salt Lake soccer team for the next 10 years. Look at how many markets we're in worldwide. And this is cool, you guys. We also give back everywhere we go. We give back. These are families helping families right there, building homes for those that don't have them, repairing schools and orphanages in Mexico and Puerto Pansaco, Mexico, and making wigs for cancer patients in Ireland. So you just got to ask yourself, this all sounds awesome, right? It is. You're probably in one of three positions. First, maybe you need more information, right? Initially, before I saw one of these overviews, that was me. I needed more information. Once I saw the overview and got to chat with somebody a little bit about and learn more about the LifeVantage and the company and the products, I was like, man, you needed to do this yesterday. Or maybe number two, you just want to be a customer. These products sound amazing. Let me get them into my body right now. I want to get better. I need this for my health and for my family too. Get back with the person that shared this with you, and they will help you get started and help you start developing your own story on these products. I know, I hear all the time, well, I just want to see what it does for me. I get it. I understand your story is powerful. It's important. So let's get you going today. Why wait another day? I just told you there's nothing else like this in the world. It is absolutely the most important thing a human or an animal can take for their health. If you breathe air and are oxidizing, which is all of us, you can reduce that oxidative stress process by 40 to 70% within a few months. The FDA allows me to make that claim. Have you ever heard the FDA allow anyone to ever say something like that before? I mean, seriously, no, right? Because no one else can. This is highly unusual, groundbreaking health products. And now you know about it. Your third option is to join the team. I mentioned to you that you could get started and have an ID number within 5 minutes. Our company does an opportunity webinar every Tuesday evening on our Facebook channel. And if you can see the vision here, the opportunity to flip your switches and to help you help those family members and friends that you love by offering it to them as well, while at the same time making a business out of it in your off time, being able to grow as you're trained, then get back with the person who sent you here and we'll help you get set up for one of the most life-changing experiences that you could possibly have. Everybody, I appreciate your attention tonight, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Frank, I'm sending it back to you. Thanks, guys.
Well done, my friend. Fantastic. Great information. All understandable and can be utilized by any one of our team members. You reiterated a bunch of times, my friends. Those that are new, if you have more questions, go to lifevantage.com, get with the person that brought you to this meeting, review it. There's an app that we have as well that you can